And it's now the time, Lawson, that time of the week that we are all looking forward to. Our interview with Justin Lawman about geopolitics and what's going on in the world, and how does that relate to the Bible? But first, Justin, do we have you with us already?
I hope so, mate. I'm not too crackly, am I?
Not too crackly, not for me at least. But have you listened to Lawson's thing about Vilpa? Have you heard about that before? Like doing...
Look, I was imagining, did he say squats in the shower?
That's what
I was just trying to figure it out.
Man. I want to have a shower.
That's so real. That's so real.
But you can chase after your dogs vigorously while you're training them, and that will count. That will reduce your risk of death in like 40%, according to Lawson.
Hey, well, that's a good thing. I can put up with squats in the shower if that's okay.
Justin, tell us what's happening in the world, my friend.
Oh, lots. There's always lots happening. It's always hard to know what do I share, because you could spend hours and not cover everything.
Yes.
So this is the world according to Justin. Anyway, Ukraine is just such a worry. How many years have we been talking about this? 4 years it's been going on, this war. It seems like America...
It's true.
Yeah. It seems like America has they're really pushing closer to Russia to get this thing stopped. And there's all sorts of threats of them pulling out entirely, which that's big. That's massive ramifications for Europe and us. Australia is all of a sudden we're being approached for drones and weapons and anything we can to contribute. This is being a really tough thing to try and bring to an end.
It is a big thing because the Western countries are very... there's going to be a big division there because most of the countries are supporting the efforts of helping Ukraine. Like you mentioned, Australia. I think that Prime Minister Albanese made it very clear that Australia is going to be giving a continuous support, like militarily, with equipment and stuff to Australia. Then you have most European countries saying that they're going to be on Ukraine's side, but then you have the United States, which is the biggest player of all, indicating otherwise. So that's going to drive a big divide politically, I'm assuming.
I don't see that Ukraine could be sustained by the West because China's in the background there with Russia as well. And without America, they just can't manufacture quick enough. Again, there's lots of innocent people. I'm not into which side's right and wrong and all that. We just need this thing to end.
Absolutely.
And it's been real tough.
Absolutely. And as they say, war is a lot of young men that do not hate each other, killing each other because of two old men that hate each other. So it's the young people, the young men are paying the tough price here because two old guys can't get along with what they want. So it's Justin, let's move on to. So do we have any news on the Epstein files release, or is that's just moving on the background?
It's just moving in the background. Like there's a lot of noise still, but will we see anything of significance? I'm not sure. There's so much control behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yeah, I'm skeptical that we're going to see anything big.
Yeah,
really.
I'm getting that way. I all sorts of promises, but not much delivered. Let's face it, they've had it for years and years. They could share it any time they wanted.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's a big thing brewing in the US, which I think has a direct impact on Bible prophecy. And at the moment, they're using the United States military to intervene on these drug-running boats that are coming up from Venezuela.
Yes.
So historically, in the Western world, you get arrested or captured doing something, you get a day in court because you may or may not be innocent. And you have to go before the judge or a jury, and then you are convicted, and then you'll pay the price for your crime. there's a lot of noise at the moment because the United States, this is a domestic thing, drug running into the country, which is terrible and it's illegal. But they're just blowing these boats out of the water with missiles.
Yeah, with no questions being asked or anything.
There's no judge. Well, the military is now the judge, jury, and executioner. The whole thing in one go.
Yes, that's very worrying, isn't it? Particularly because, like, when your enemy knows that you're doing this, they can use that against you. In that they could, for example, what would be stopping them from running boats with innocent people that are threatened? So either you drive this boat forward, or we are going to kill you, and then you leave like innocent people out of choice there, and that is, I think, damaging. That can be damaging to even the United States image as the police of the worldwide with these kinds of executions.
Well, right at the end, the United States in Bible prophecy is described as a lamb-like beast, which is a lamb being Christian, but in the end it speaks like a dragon. And this is not, we hate drugs and their impact on people, and I can understand they've had enough and they're stamping down their foot very firmly. But they're setting precedents here. And they use this the guise of terrorism. So they designate the Venezuela drug gangs as a terrorist organization. And once you've been designated as a terrorist organization, the gloves are off. They can do whatever they want, and they do whatever they want. And I think this is something that, you can see how this is going to be used increasingly in the future.
Yeah, and particularly the use of that, because back in the days, these kinds of things used to happen a lot, but nobody outside of the military or of the high politics would know. But now it's being broadcasted to the whole world to see. And sure, I think that they're trying to communicate a message saying, hey, don't come with your drug boats to the United States, because but at the same time, it's quite confronting.
If you take a step back and look at the big picture, I think that's what we have to do, because we can get caught up in the politics of the time, the emotion of the news cycle. But just step back and look at the big picture. This is a bad precedent that they are using this level of force domestically.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's definitely a big thing. What's going on with the Somali community?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Has, Lawson would know lots about Minnesota.
Shout out to Timberwolves.
They are, Lawson, how would you describe aren't they called the friendly state or something?
Yeah, that's right. Minnesota is not only dubbed as the friendly state, but they're considered to be like a bit of a Canada 2.0, like the American version of the politeness that is ascribed to Canada is usually usually put into Minnesota.
I didn't know that they were like that friendly.
Yeah, and they have a very distinct accent. That's kind of their vibe. Yeah.
Can you do that accent, Lawson?
I don't know. Maybe producer Shell can. It's not my thing. I think the only one is I can just pretend to be a Canadian that's from Minnesota. I think they do like the A's and O's, that kind of thing.
The roof.
Something like that.
The roof, yeah. Anyway.
So, Justin, Minnesota, the friendly state in the U.S., and there's something involving the Somali community there. What's happening?
Well, Somalia is a bit of a failed state back home, and Al-Shabaab is this big terrorist organization over there. He's another terrorist organization. They're Islamic. It appears that they've been using all sorts of schemes to take money and send it back home, and it's been skimmed off by this Al-Shabaab as it goes back home, and we're talking billions of dollars is what's being uncovered. And Donald Trump's reaction to that wasn't a mild reaction. He just wants to kick every Somali out of America.
Oh, wow.
And of course, they're an Islamic country. They have a very prominent senator. There's the vice president to Kamala Harris in the last election was the guy who is the governor of that state.
Yeah, Tim
Remember
Walz.
him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Waltz. So this is blown up big, and the FBI are involved now. They are pursuing, and it's got a lot of politics, not just fraud. And so the Republican side of politics is just making this count for them. And the Democrats are defending and trying to, they've got themselves in a bad spot here politically. So this will play out in the next few weeks and months, but they've already charged, I think, 76 individuals with fraud. There's a lot more coming, is the word on the street. So this is something to keep an eye on, and how that pans out for the Islamic community, who have had a very prominent, they've become politically powerful in that state. And it appears that a lot of this was ignored because of the political clout that they have. And what's gone on in England, with parts of England having Sharia courts and everything, this is all blowing up in America right now as well. And just let's see what happens.
Wow. Well, that's definitely big news, particularly for the state of Minnesota, and see how's the federal government in the United States going to respond to that. And Justin, coming back here to Australia, last week we were talking about the e-safety commissioner and this new initiative of the Australian government. I think it's the first in the world of
everyone's watching.
Yes, requiring age verification to access certain websites or to navigate through the webs. Do we have any news that come from that front?
Well, the minister, not the e-safety commissioner, but the minister planned a trip to New York, and I thought, man, Lawson must have been on this trip with them. 3 people. The trip was $100,000 or $98,000.
Oh wow!
And
Wow. For how many people?
3.
3 people.
Oh yeah, dude, we were eating up the minibar, bro. Like, you have no idea.
There's a lot of chocolate from the mini bars to get.
Hey, don't
A lot of $10 chocolate bars.
Don't look for the Sprites, all right?
I don't know how they got it. Well, anyway, it is what it is, and there's a lot of politics around that. I think the e-safety commissioner is in a bit of trouble herself with how the fallout's going to go from this, and there's a lot of nervous people. Again, I can see 2 arguments for this. I don't like that 15-year-olds, under 15-year-olds are just getting influenced so much from social media. But at the same time, I'm the parent here. I'll manage my kids, thank you very much.
Yes.
And you wonder how much they want to get this, how they want to identify us and manage the whole population and our use of the internet, and how that can be used for political ends. This is what makes everyone nervous, because
that's right.
Everyone knows every little bit they take more and more power and control, and that's the big concern with this thing. Yeah. So that's this week. We're soon going to see what happens.
That's right, and there always, as it normally goes, whenever certain freedoms are taken away, they very seldom are given back afterwards. It just becomes a new normal. Justin, thank you so much for sharing with us a lot of the things that are going on and things to keep our eyes on, keep that tab open.